gentlemen, game time. It's 3:22.
All right, you heard it right here from
Roman, did you take my book? I don't know. I had rewritten everything. Oh,
Well, you heard it, or you might have heard it from Roderick King, our home plate umpire for this B Division Championship. But the game time has started. This will be a 60-minute game here on the Cloud Sports Network. This is the 2023 Sin City Classic B Division Championship Tournament. And this is the final game. This is it. We will crown a champion in this game if
which one
the
can you
San
read?
Francisco Sharks, who are taking the field right now,
Which one do you want?
win this game.
this
If they do not, if the Toros take it, then we'll have an if game. And here to tell you all about the action is Dr. Joel Tremblay and the voice of gay softball, Rich Siegel.
Roderick, I didn't jinx it. Roderick King is our home plate umpire here for this B Division final. Mike Letendre at first. Roderick from Florida. And as you know from our previous game, Mike Letendre is the base umpire for this game from San Diego, from the league that Joel runs. I was a little disappointed. I did not get to see one of my favorite umpires who hails from San Diego, and I didn't get to see him. I don't know if he was here this weekend. Craig Harsha, was he here this weekend?
Yes, Craig Harsha is here this weekend.
okay.
I ran into he and another umpire friend, Neil Kovrig. Also
Yeah,
from San
I didn't
Diego.
see him either.
I believe they are both doing E and D. So I spoke with Neil last night. He was starting the day at the E fields, but when he finished that, he was going over to finish the D game. So I don't know if Craig is doing the same. But that's where they are. They are just with the other divisions. And those divisions tend to be bigger, so their Sundays go longer.
Well, since I don't think I'm going to wind up seeing both of them, I hope that you'll give them my regards, because I do like both of them.
Absolutely.
They are both wonderful guys. Rene Rossetti will lead off and hits the first pitch up the middle and on into center field for a base hit for the Houston Toros. They are the visitors here for this B final.
And so just to catch you up on the rules here,
Yes.
if this is your first broadcast with us, all the batters start with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Pitches have to go above 6 feet, but no higher than 12 feet in the umpire's estimation. And foul balls are just strikes, so 2 foul balls and you're out.
Jonathan Estrada lines one on the second pitch into left field for a base hit, and a very fast-moving Rossetti gets from first to third where he stands, runners at the corners, and nobody out. Houston needs a win to keep their hopes alive. Cesar Sainz will be the batter. That's from the right side and takes a pitch outside for a ball. Cesar swings and hits one high and deep to left field, and that ball's got some carry, and it's a 3-run homer.
And I was about to mention the home runs. That's another rule. This is different from our last game. Our last game was A. They are allowed to hit 4 home runs. This is the B championship. Each team is allowed 3 home runs. After 3 home runs, a ball over the fence is an out.
Now, you might have hit a car horn going off, but I assure you that no cars were hit by that home run. Ty Ritchie will be the batter, and he takes a pitch outside. So Houston off to a 3-0 lead. Jose Torres is the pitcher for San Francisco, and that pitch is a strike called. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a swing and a fly ball hit to deep left field, and that ball is gone for another home run.
And it's hard to say that a home run is a mistake, but as we've discussed in other broadcasts, when you only get 3, you usually want to maximize them. So hitting one out with 2 runners on is usually a good call. That's about where you want to be. A grand slam is great if you can get it, but hitting solo home runs isn't always the best use of that resource.
So it's 4-0. Sean Lamont swings and hits a ground ball to the middle fielder. It is bobbled. There is no play at first base. Jonathan Fukuhara is the middle fielder. He had the ball but bobbled it. And so a runner at first, nobody out, and 4 runs in for Jose Montano. He bats from the left side.
It didn't look like too bad a bounce, but it is chilly and a little bit windy, not like it was early in the day, and that glove is probably just a little firm right now.
And the first pitch is hit Oppo down the left field line. That ball gets down in fair territory. It is going to be a double, and Houston has runners at second and third. Still nobody out on a double to the opposite field by Jose Montano, and it's second and third. 4 runs in already, and again, nobody out. 7th batter in the lineup is Tim Brownlee. He's the pitcher.
And you mentioned that Fukuhara is playing in a position called middle fielder. Softball, you get 10 players in the outfield, in the field. A lot of C and D and some B play 4 outfielders. What this team is doing, what the Sharks are doing, is playing 5 infielders. So that 5th person is the middle infielder. It kind of looks like a shift in Major League Baseball.
Tim Brownlee is intentionally passed to set up a force play, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Dustin Blomstein. And the first pitch to him, he takes the first pitch for a ball. And the next one, he swings and grounds one up the middle. Off the glove of the middle fielder, bounces to the left of the bag, and a run will score. 5-0 as Lamont scores. Montano to third, Brownlee to second.
If he makes that play cleanly, he might get the double play, which was part of the point of putting the pitcher on base. But unfortunately, another one bounces out, and a run scores.
Sean Lamont will come in and he's going to coach third base. This is Michael Loaiza, the first baseman. He swings and hits a ground ball in the hole into right field for a base hit. A run has scored. Here comes another man home. The throw is late. 2 runs scored. The ball gets by the catcher, and the other runners will move up to second and third. Montano and Brownlee both score. It is 7-0. Other runners at second and third. Blonstein to third. Loaiza to second. The last batter in the order is Patrick Deakins, and there is still nobody out, and there's going to be a conference. It's not just an infield conference. It is all players conference just beyond the pitching mound.
Don't know exactly what they're talking about, but when things are going like this, it's sometimes good to take a breath as the pitcher, give them a little bit of break. It's rough to be out there just throwing your best pitches and having them hit this hard by everybody. Might also be talking about changing that outfielding or moving that middle infielder around. Not sure there was anything bad going on. There was just a little bit of a struggle with how hard those balls were hit in the hops right now.
So runners at second and third, and it looks like for the second time, what are they doing? They are intentionally walking the batter to set up a force play. So Patrick Deakins is at first base, and we are already back at the top of the order. Rene Rossetti, who started this first inning by hitting a single and scoring, he bats from the left side. The second baseman playing in the early part of the outfield, and here's a line drive hit into right center field. That ball goes to the base of the fence. 2 runs will score as Blonstein scores and Loaiza scores. 2 more runs have scored. Deakins to third. It's a double for Rossetti. It's 9-0. And Jonathan Estrada to bat. In this inning, he has a single and a run scored. And the first pitch to him is a ball. And that pitch illegal for a ball. First base is open. A little conversation going on between Estrada and Roderick King. The count is 3 balls and a strike. And here's the next delivery. And that pitch is a ball 4, and the bases are loaded again. Deakins at third, Rossetti at second, Estrada at first. Here's Cesar Sainz.
Sainz with a home run last time. A grand slam would be a possibility here. That would be a good use of that last precious resource.
Yes. Here's the next delivery. He swings and bounces one to third off the third baseman's glove, beyond the shortstop's reach. 2 more runs will score. So everybody, what did you say in the earlier game? Everybody something and everybody scores?
One of the cheers that you will hear from various teams is everybody hits, everybody scores. Rarely does it happen in an inning that everybody actually hits and everybody scores, and there was a walk in there, but I think we can still say our scorebook is colored up and down the entire first inning.
Ty Ritchie, the batter, he homered in the earlier at bat in this inning.
And still no outs.
It is 10-0. And the next one sails outside. Here's a fly ball head deep to left field again and again. Oh, it hits the fence. It stays in play. Estrada will come in to score, and Caesar will hold at second base. It's 12-0. Sean Lamont, the batter, reached on an error in his first at-bat in this inning, and he lifts one foul to the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've reached that point in the game early on where, God, I don't want to make the first out, and
Right?
when my team has done so well. And here's the next one. There's a fly ball hit out into center field, and that ball is fenced. It's another home run. $15-0.
So Lamont being told by his team that he did not have to run the bases, which is true. I don't think he has to go past first, but he said he wanted to because it was fun to do.
Here is Jose Montano.
All right, so the Toros are done with home runs. Anything else that clears the fence is an out.
And there's a ground ball to second base. It's bobbled by the second base or the middle fielder, who has no play.
Got a feel for these Sharks in the infield. Some hard hit balls, and they're getting gloves on, and they just little slips and can't quite make the out.
Here's Tim Brownlee. This is the 17th batter in the inning. Everyone has reached in some way, shape, or form. 3 have hit home runs. And the first pitch is a strike called. It's a ball and 2 strikes. That is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball 3. And the next one swung on and a grounder to shortstop. Fielded on the true hop to Fukuwara for 1 on the first, and got him at first base. Double play.
Now we're playing. The Sharks said, now we're playing. Okay. I see it.
All right, so Toros with 15 runs. I will mention that in our last game, it wasn't a game, but the final score, I believe, was 18-15. So 15 runs. If they can get out of this and just get things started, they don't even need it all in one inning. Sharks still very much in this ball game. This is not over.
Not by a long shot. Dustin Blonstein, the batter. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored. And he lines one into right field for a base hit. Okay, so now we've had the first out and the second out. It's like I don't want to make the third out. Be a courtesy runner at first base. And it'll be Jose Montano running for Dustin Blonstein. Michael Loaiza, the batter, singled and scored early in this inning. We are still in just the top of the first inning, and this is the 19th batter who hits one into right field for a base hit. Just past the dive of the second baseman, and on his way to third base is the courtesy runner, Montano, for Blonstein. It'll be first and third with 2 out. And for the second time this inning, they've actually batted around twice. Patrick Deakins will be the batter. He's the last batter in the lineup. and he is batting for the second time in the first inning. And he goes after the first pitch and lines one into shallow right center field. It'll be another hit and another run. Montano scores. 16-0.
And here comes Rossetti for a very unusual third at-bat in this inning.
My goodness gracious, yes indeed. So he has singled. He is also singled again. And the first pitch to him is hit to the left side, fielded by the shortstop onto the middle fielder, and mercifully, the inning is over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 runs score in that inning. And we go to the bottom of the first. That inning must have taken 20 minutes. It was 16-0. The Houston Toros needing to win against the San Francisco Sharks. 16-0. I'm sorry?
Okay. And no, this is not a football game.
The Sharks are going to have to be like the Jaguars from last night.
If you didn't hear that, our chief technical officer, Mitch Barnes, mentioned that the Sharks are going to need a comeback much like the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right. Johnny Fukumara, Jason Newland, and Anthony Clifford will be the first three batters in the San Francisco lineup. You ever been in a game that you trailed this much early on?
I don't remember quite this bad after the first inning. Actually, at the Autumn Classic one year, my team, the Over the Limit team, I was not playing because I was working on the tournament, actually had a 22-run inning.
Oh, my heavens. Here's a line drive foul to the left side.
I think one of the
Jonathan
tough things
Fukuhara, the leadoff batter. I'm sorry.
one of the tough things to remember for the Sharks is you cannot do this with one swing and you cannot do this with three swings, so you just need to hit line drives and things through the middle and just get base hits.
There's a swing and a ground ball. The shortstop takes a bad hop, but the shortstop is able to make the play, and that is out number one. That's Cesar Sainz playing at shortstop. On to Michael Oeza, and that is the first out. We'll bring up Jason Newland, the center fielder, who takes the first pitch outside for a ball. It's 2-1. And here is another ground ball to short. And another throw to first, and that's out number two. Anthony Clifford, the batter. So, two pitches to the shortstop, two out.
And the Toros playing a more traditional defensive alignment with four infielders, the pitcher, the catcher, and then four outfielders. No middle fielder for the Toros here.
And the first pitch is a strike call. Anthony Clifford, outfielder, takes another pitch for a ball. He wears number 16, which is the exact number that his team trails by here in the bottom of the first. There's a line drive into right field for a base hit. It gets between the two outfielders. It'll be at least a double. Clifford around second on his way to third. They throw that way, but he is in easily with a stand-up triple.
Always hard to say to not run something out for a triple, but actually with 2 runs down, a lot of people would tell you don't make the first out at third base.
Yeah.
Especially with what was clearly his excellent speed. He's probably going to score on a base hit from second anytime.
Here is the pitcher, Jose Torres. And the first pitch to Jose is swung on and bounced up the middle into center field for a base hit, and a run scores as Clifford comes in from third base easily.
And that base hit up the middle is what you lose when you have 4 outfielders, because your middle infielder probably would have snatched that one right up.
Sam Myers will be the batter. And the first pitch is a strike call. And there is a fly ball hit out into left field, carrying and gone. Sam Myers with a 2-run homer, and it's 16-3. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Neil Ingalls. First two guys grounded to shortstop, and the next three have made hits. Here's a fly ball hit out into right center field. Right center fielder flashes over to his left, and he makes the catch, and that is the third out, and that ends the inning. But 3 runs have come across for San Francisco, so the Sharks now down 16-3 after 1 here on the Cloud Sports Network.
The 16th annual Sin City Classic is proud to once again welcome Lexus as its presenting sponsor. Lexus, experience amazing. In addition to being an incredible partner to the Sin City Classic, Lexus has once again been named a top employer by the Human Rights Campaign, earning a perfect score in the 2020 Corporate Equality Index. Lexus also happens to be the car maker of choice for some of our Cloud Sports Network team, notably our Chief Technology Officer.
So the leadoff batter will be the second batter in the order, and we're playing here in the second inning, and already this will be the third at-bat for Jonathan Estrada, who has singled and scored. He has walked and scored, and he is the leadoff batter here in the top of the second in a game that his team leads 16-3, Houston Toros and the San Francisco Sharks. And the first pitch is a ball. 2 balls and a strike. And there is a fly ball hit out into left center field. That ball's got carry, and it's a home run.
That's an out. Since, again, we mentioned earlier, Houston Toros hit 3 home runs in the first inning, and in B, you only get 3 home runs, so every ball over the fence, just like that one, will be an out. So that is just a very long, impressive, powerful out.
Flexing his muscle for show.
And I have no idea how to score that, Rich.
Home run out. That's what I put in my scorebook, home run out. And here is Caesar. Takes a pitch for a ball. And the next one is inside, ball 3. And that pitch is a ball, and it's ball 4.
So the Sharks got 3 back in the first inning, and most of these games are going to go 5 or 6 innings as long as there's enough time, and as this is a championship, it should be going 60 minutes. But they do need the defense to work and stop the Toros from getting more.
Ty Ritchie has a home run and a single. He's got a couple of RBIs and a couple of runs scored, and he hits one to left field solidly. The ball will get to the fence. Off the base of the fence, Caesar on his way to third base, and he will hold on Ty Ritchie's 3rd hit of the game. It's a double, so he's a triple away from the cycle, and there's still a lot of this game left. Sean Lamont will be the batter. First pitch. Swung on and bounced to third. Off the third baseman's glove, fielded by the shortstop. He has no play. Caesar scores. Ty Ritchie held second, and on at first base on an infield single is Sean Lamont. It is now 17-3. And Jose Montano will be the batter. Here is the opening toss to Montano. Swung on and lined to the shortstop on one hop. He'll go to third to get the easy force on Ritchie. And that is out number 2. Lamont to second. Montoya on the fielder's choice. First and second with 2 out for Tim Brownlee. be a courtesy runner. Rene Rossetti is going to come in to run for Jose Montano. And the first pitch is swung on and lined fair down the third base line. It's going to roll all the way to the corner, and 2 runs are going to score on this. They might have a play at third. The throw is late, and the runner is safe. Lamont and Rossetti running for Montano score 3 more runs. It's now 19-3. And Dustin Blonstein, the batter, with a runner at third base and 2 out. And the first pitch to Blonstein. Swung on and hit high and deep to left field, but it will stay in the park. And the catch is made out in left field, and the inning is over. Anthony Clifford makes the catch, and that ends the inning. 3 more runs, though, come across for Houston here in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second, and the score is now the Houston Toros 19 and the San Francisco Sharks 3.
And whichever team wins this game will probably do some celebrating tonight, and they will likely be celebrating with some of Tito's handmade vodka. Tito's is once again an official vodka of the 16th annual Sin City Classic. Tito's is unflavored and distilled in old-fashioned copper pots. And because it's made from corn, Tito's is certified gluten-free. Drink some Tito's today because, after all, dry January might just be a little bit overrated.
All right, we are play here on the bottom of the second inning. Cam Walls will be the leadoff batter. Chris Trepty and Jason Zagorski will follow. 19-3 our score. Back to the 16-run deficit for San Francisco. And the first pitch is a ball. And here is a pitch that is hit high and deep to left center field. Got a carry, but not far enough as the catch is made on the outfield warning track in left center field, and that's out number 1.
You know, we have a lot of versatile people here in the league, and so some people we have who are managers and players. We also have some people who are managers and umpires. So the Sharks are managed by Marius Greenspan, and when you see him, you might recognize him as somebody who also wears the blue and has been an umpire for a long time here with these leagues.
Here's a ground ball to shortstop, the play on to first base, and the runner is safe. The catch made out in left center field earlier by Jonathan Estrada. This ball is a ground ball to the shortstop, signs on to first base, but the runner beat the play. So it'll go as an infield single, and Jason Zagorski, the EH, is the next batter. He swings and lines one up the middle and on into center field for a base hit. You are talking about a gentleman who has given so much to the cause of Naga as an umpire, and now he is continuing his work in gay softball by coaching this team. There's so many different ways that you can give back without actually being a player.
That is absolutely true. We have players, we have managers.
Here's a ground ball up the middle and on into center field for a base hit, and the bases will be loaded. Trepty to third, Zagorski to second, and Gonzalez, that's Chris Gonzalez, is safe at first base on a single, and that'll bring up Mike Wachowski.
My own co-coach, Laura Zamansky, started as someone who was around the league and helping with the league, and then became something of a team mom, and then became a co-coach, and actually now is a player.
By the way, this batter told me that I could call him Ski, and so that's exactly what I'm going to call him, because I'm sure that that's what most people know him as. So Ski is the batter with the bases loaded and 1 out. And he takes a strike. Ski. He pops one up on the infield. Third baseman makes the call and makes the catch. That's Sean Lamont manning third base, so it's a pop-up to the third baseman. It's out number 2, and the last batter in their order is Michael Basta, and he swings and hits one up the middle and on into center field for a hit. 2 runs are going to score, There was no play on Zagorski. He scores, as does Trepty, and the score is now 19-5. It'll be runners at first and second, and it's back to the top of the order for Jonathan Fukuhara.
2 out, 2 on, 2 in, and the Sharks still have 2 home runs they could hit. So with 2 on, you might see that here if Fukuhara has that kind of power.
And he swings and hits one to the shallow left field for a base hit, and the bases will be loaded. Ball was hit too shallow for the runner at second to score. That's Chris Gonzalez. He is running, and it's a single. Bases are loaded for Jason Newland, who grounded out to shortstop in his first plate appearance. He swings and hits one in the air to deep left center field, but it stays in the park, and the catch is made by Jonathan Estrada, and that ends the inning. 2 runs come across, 3 are left, and we go to the top of the third. It is still the Houston Toros with 19, but now the San Francisco Sharks have 5. Yes. Wojciechowski.
Yeah, you can't read my handwriting. Wojciechowski.
He said I could call him Ski.
That's, yeah.
That's what he told me. I said, whose name is this? He goes, it's mine.
Chicken scratch.
Wojciechowski. No, it was fine. I just needed a guide on it. Just call me Ski.
We mentioned that this game is a championship game, could go for 60 minutes and still have new innings, but it's worth mentioning with a run differential of 14 that in these championship games, usually the run rules are still in play. And so that would be, you would need to be ahead by 20 runs at the end of the third inning, 15 runs at the end of fourth inning, or 10 runs at the end of the fifth inning. And that's how the run rule would work. Michael Loaiza to lead off here. He's batting for the third time, and he flies one out into right center field. And the catch is made by the center fielder. Out number 1. That's Jason Newland playing center field for the Sharks. Patrick Deakins, the batter. He has walked and he has singled both in the first inning. He bats here in the third inning. Takes the ball. Open stance from the left side. Grounded to the middle fielder. On to first, 2 out. And so the leadoff batter, Rene Rossetti, will bat here in the third inning. This will be the 4th time that he's come to the plate. In the first inning, he singled and scored. He singled and scored and then hit into a fielder's choice. So he's 2 for 3. He bats with 2 out and nobody on. And there's a line drive hit out into right field. That's going to get over the right fielder's head and will go to the fence. Rossetti takes his hat off as he rounds first and heads to second, and now he's going to motor into third base, and he has a triple. Had a little misstep as he was rounding second going to third, but looks like he's okay. I don't think he pulled anything. May have just had a little bad step on the turf out there.
Here's Johnny Estrada. He has singled, he has walked, and he made an out on a home run, and the first pitch is a strike called. He swings and grounds one up the middle and on into the outfield for a hit, and another run as Rossetti scores. 20-5. Cesar Sainz will be the batter. 2 outs, a run in, 1 on, and here's a ground ball hit to deep short. They play to second base, and the out is made. That shortstop was positioned perfectly to field that ball. It was hit in the hole, but because they had the middle fielder, the shortstop, and the third baseman on that side, the ball did not get to the outfield. So the shortstop makes the play, and the force out goes 6-4 to end the inning, and 1 run for Houston. They now lead 20-5 as we head to the bottom of the third.
And that gives us a moment to talk about Caesars, not Caesar Saints of the Toros, but Caesars Entertainment. Caesars Entertainment is partnering with the 16th annual Sin City Classic, where every guest is treated like Caesar himself and every visit is unforgettable. At Caesars Entertainment Group of Hotels, you'll find spacious rooms, friendly staff, and exciting casinos, sportsbooks, and world-class shows. Visit Caesars.com for more information. That's Caesars.com.
Marius,
All right, here we go.
how much time did you see on that clock?
4 minutes and 53, 52, 51.
24? Is that what you said? 24?
24 minutes. And
All right, thank you. See, you can still do those things that an umpire does. You can still do those things that an umpire does. We're inside of 25 minutes to go. And Anthony Clifford to lead off for San Francisco, and his first pitch is a strike. Next one, illegal. 2-2, just a tad high.
I think we've had enough rain.
Yes. And the 2-2 swung on and lifted in the air, right center field. It's got some carry and enough carry for a home run. I think it's their first. So they have 2 more, I believe, right?
No, Myers hit one in the first inning.
Okay. Here's a base hit into right center field by Jose Torres. And now the ball gets by on the throw-in from the outfield, and Torres will make it to second base. Sam Myers hit the home run, didn't
Sam
he?
Myers in the first
I
inning, correct.
didn't circle that. So that's the second home run for San Francisco, and that'll bring up the aforementioned Sam Myers. He swings and grounds one up the middle and on into right center field for a base hit. Torres will hold at third on the base hit by Sam Myers, and that'll bring up Neil Ingalls, who fly to left, his first at bat.
And I think that's a smart play. There's no reason to risk things.
Oh.
They need too many runs to be
No.
worried about getting people thrown out at home right now.
Exactly. There's a fair ball hit down the line, and it'll go all the way to the fence. A run will score. Another run will score. There'll be no play, as both Torres and Myers scored. So we have 3 runs in the inning. On the double by Ingalls, Cam Walls will be the batter. Nobody out, 3 runs in, 20-8. Ball inside.
I know.
The next one swung on and hit high into left field, shallow, and the ball drops in front of the left fielder for a hit. Jason Newland is running for Neil Ingalls, and he will hold up at third base. It will go as a double for Cam Walls. Ingalls had to hold up, or rather Newland had to hold up to make sure that the ball wasn't going to be caught. So he made it as far as third base. He's the base runner there for Chris Trepty. And he swings and hits one to the third baseman. He backhands it, comes up throwing, and safe. The ball gets by the first baseman, and Newland will score on the play. Walls to third.
Great play to get that ball by the third baseman. It was always going to be a hard throw, and he bounced it, but just a little too hard to dig out for the first baseman. I think he had him if he could have dug it out, but really tough throw.
Would have been a tough play to make. Jason Zagorski will be the batter. He goes after the first pitch and hits one into left center field. Johnny Estrada makes the catch. It'll be a sacrifice fly and an RBI as Cam Walsh scores, and that is the 5th run in the inning. And that'll bring up Chris Gonzalez. 5 runs have scored this inning. The first pitch is outside. Oh, we called it a strike. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the next one, swing and a base hit into left center field. Bounces in front of Estrada. He tries to get the force at second base, but he's too late as Trepty makes it to second base, and so Gonzalez is on with his second hit of the game. It's a 5-run inning, so they've doubled their run output.
And in this B division,
Pronounce his name again. Wichowski, the batter. Ski. In his first at bat, he popped to the third baseman. As a runner in scoring position. And pitches a ball. The next one is illegal. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. And another illegal loads him up.
And those are the kind of breaks you need if you're going to be clawing back from a 15-run deficit. So more base runners always good here for the Sharks. They do have one home run left to use on a grand slam if they can do it.
88 base runner, and here's a ground ball hit to the third baseman. Flips to second for a force, and that'll be the only play they get. Chris Trepty scores the 6th run of the inning. Gonzalez to third. Ski, there was a courtesy runner for Ski. He was forced at second, and Michael Basta is on at first on the fielder's choice. We go back to the top of the order, and Jonathan Fukuhara will be the batter. And he goes after the first pitch and lines one over the shortstop's head and into left center field for a base hit. Gonzalez scores. Michael Basta to second. Johnny Fukuhara is 2 for 3, and Jason Newland will be the batter. He's 0 for 2. Grounder to short and a fly to the outfield, and the first pitch is a ball. Runners at first and second. 7-run inning so far, and a ground ball to shortstop, and he will go to third, and the ball is bobbled by the third baseman. Everybody is safe.
When you saw that ball roll into him deep in the hole at shortstop, you wondered if he would have time to make a play. It was a good idea to go to the third. I think that was the only one he had, but getting it in the dirt, just another one that couldn't quite dig out. Too low a throw.
Anthony Clifford will bat for the second time this inning. He led off the inning with a home run. He takes a pitch on the plate. And the next one. Inside. And that is outside. So it's an RBI on the walk.
And Rich, I'm going to suggest to you that knowing that he just hit a home run with 3 runners on base, they pitched around him. They didn't intentionally walk him. Hard to do that with the bases loaded, but I think they were pitching around Clifford there.
Adolfo Romeo was a courtesy runner, and he scores. I have 8 runs in the inning. The batter is the pitcher, Jose Torres, with 3 on and 2 out. And that pitch is low. We called it a strike, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Actually, I think there's just 1 out. There's a line drive caught by the second baseman. That is the 3rd out. However, 8 runs do score. And our new score is now the Toros 20 and the Sharks 13 after 3 innings here.
So basically cut the deficit in half there on a very nice inning. Very hard hit ball to end the inning. If that had been hit not at somebody, probably would have had at least 2 more in there. And we'll take a moment at the change over here to talk about another partner of the 16th Annual Sin City Classic, and that is the team of the LA Dodgers. Dodgers are proud to celebrate with their LGBTQ plus fans around the world. They have an annual Pride Night, and they will probably be announcing their 2023 Pride Night soon. So follow the Dodgers on social media or visit Dodgers.com for more information.
We're trying to figure out who leads off this inning. I have Ty Ritchie scheduled to lead off this inning.
I think you're right, because I think it was Estrada made the last out on the fielder's choice that Sains hit.
Yes. Ty Ritchie has a home run. He has a single, and he has a double.
Steps in with 2 strikes. He was called a strike for the delay.
And the pitch is a strike because he was delayed in getting into the batter's box. Roman correctly points out that he was strike. And because I'm waiting to see what happens here, I think he's out.
He should
Yeah,
be
he's
out.
out.
Yes.
So
Doesn't look like Rich.
the first pitch that wasn't thrown was an automatic strike because he was delayed in getting into the batter's box, and then he took this pitch for a strike, and he's out. It's a called third strike and 1 out.
Roderick made it very clear. He's called a strike.
Yeah, so they're talking about it. It sounds like Ty did not know that had been called, but I think the umpire, Roderick King, was quite clear that he had called a strike due to the delay.
And so Sean Lamont will bat for the 4th time in this game, and that pitch is outside. Sean Lamont has reached 3 times and has scored all 3 times, and he hits one into left center field. It's a home run.
2 outs.
But because they had 3 home runs, it's another out,
It's
right?
another long, impressive out. Although, we should say, talking about the A division where we saw a lot of home runs, the A players are going to be much better at controlling that power. These B players are often not as good at picking and choosing their home run spots. They're just hitting the ball as hard as they can.
Montano, the batter. And he lines one just past the dive of the shortstop, Sam Myers, and on into left field for a base hit.
And we'll see how this goes. That kind of interaction with the umpire getting called out on a strike 3 when you didn't know you had strike 2 is the kind of thing that can get in your head as a team.
Tim Brownlee, the batter. Oh, there's an errant ball on the field. Someone might have thrown a home run ball back and not let anybody know that they were doing it.
One of the fans.
One of the fans.
We always throw it back when it's the opposing team.
Wondering if that fan who threw it back in was from the opposing team is Roman Jimenez back there.
There's a fly ball hit out into deep right field. It's got some carry. And that's another home run out.
And so in one of the more unusual innings I've seen, they go 4 up, 3 down, including a called strike 3 after strike 2 was on a non-pitch for a delay, and then 2 home run outs. There was no out made by a fielder.
No, there was not.
In that inning.
Okay, so now Ty Ritchie and the home plate umpire Roderick King are going to have a conversation about this. Now Ty looks rather pleasant. He just wants an explanation about what happened and wants to explain his side of what happened. But boy, that is true. That was a definite unusual inning.
Strikeout, and then 2 home runs. See that every day.
So Ty Ritchie will move from behind the plate. He will now play first base, and Michael Loaiza, who was playing first base, is now coming in to catch.
And after giving up 16 runs in the first inning over the next 2, the Sharks have only given up 4, and they are clawing their way back into this game.
Here's a fly ball hit out into deep right field off the bat of Sam Myers. Does that count?
That counts.
Okay, it's a home run for Sam Myers.
His second. But
So that's their 3 and his second. So that's it. They have reached their limit, but they may try to do impressive things like hitting home runs that will result in outs too. You never know. All right, here is Neil Ingalls. Fly to left, doubled and scored. I have the score at 20-14.
I would expect that Marius Greenspan, the manager and umpire, to be telling them to keep the ball lower now. I don't think he wants to give them those outs over the fence that the Toros gave to the Sharks.
And here's a ground ball by Ingalls off the third baseman's glove. He will be run for. Jason Newland will come in to be the courtesy runner. And the batter will be Cam Walls, who has flied to center, singled and scored, and he takes the pitch for a ball. And there's a swing and a line drive into left field for a base hit. Newland will hold at second base. And I want to verify with you that my score is correct at 20-14.
That is what I have as well, counting that home run that led off this inning. We came into this half inning 20-13, and then that home run.
Chris Treppe, the batter. He's reached on a single and an error. He has scored twice, and the first pitch is a ball. And that pitch is outside. Another one will load them up. And it's a ball. Jason Zagorski will be the batter. He has singled and scored and hit a sacrifice fly. He takes the strike.
Smart move.
I
Given that
have
there were
Ingles
three
at
balls.
third, Walls at second. Treppe at first, and the pitch is a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the next one, swung on and grounded in the hole between first and second, into right field for a hit. A run will score. They have a play at the plate, and the runner is out! Far be it from me. You know what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm
Yeah.
not sure why you send that when you're chasing as many as you are. The one thing I will say
Yeah.
is that it's not easy to make that throw and catch and make that tag. And they had to get all those things right, and if they don't, you have a ball running around the infield, and sometimes throwing ahead of runners is something that gets your team as the offense some extra bases if it can work. But that wasn't even rushed. That ball beat him by quite a bit.
Yes.
And it was just a simple tag play.
A run did score ahead of the out, and now here's Chris Gonzalez with a fly ball into left center field. The catch is made, and the throw comes back in, so no further advancement by Treppe or Zagorski.
And I'm just going to, if he stays at third, that ball brings him in.
Here is Wachowski. He has popped to the third baseman. There are 7 minutes left, and he has walked. Here's a fly ball hit out into left field. Got some carry, but the catch is made. So what started out as a promising inning results in the next 3 outs, and so only 2 runs score in the inning, making our new score the Toros 20 and the Sharks 15 as we go to the top of the 5th.
And that was an impressive catch and probably did save 2 runs. So that 4th inning brought to you by ViV Healthcare. ViV is proud to partner with the 16th annual Sin City Classic as a gold level sponsor. ViV Healthcare is committed to delivering innovative new medicines for the care and treatment of people living with HIV and for the prevention of HIV. At ViV, their mission is to leave no one behind. Find out more at VivHealthcare.com. That's ViV Healthcare.com.
All right, we have inside of 7 minutes to go. The deficit is 5. It was at one point 16. And for Houston, the leadoff batter will be Dustin Blonstein. And here's the first pitch. Strike called. Here's a swing and a fly ball hit out into left field. Ranging over to his right to make the catch. And that's out number 1. It's Michael Basta. And that'll bring up Michael Loaiza, who is now the catcher. First pitch to him is a pitch outside. He has singled and scored. He has singled again, and he has flied to left center, and he loops one into shallow right field, and the ball will be caught. Ball hung up high enough for the right fielder to make the catch.
Yes, when that one came off the bat, I thought it might drop in that sort of no person's land between shortstop and right field, or between second base and right field, but the right fielder fast on his feet in there to catch that ball.
That's Anthony Clifford to make that catch, and that'll bring up Patrick Deakins who has walked, singled, and hit a ground out to the middle fielder, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. Or was that a ball? I didn't see the right arm go up. And the next one, swung on, and here's a ground ball to second base, and bobbled by the second baseman, no play. So a two-out base runner is Patrick Deakins, and we come back to the top of the order, and Rene Rossetti, who is batting for the 5th time in this game. He has singled and scored, tripled and scored, reached on a fielder, or hit into a fielder's choice, and he tripled and scored again. And that first pitch sails inside for a ball. And the next one sails inside again.
Not sure what changed with regard to the pitching or anything from that first inning. It does look like the pitcher's using a few more angles and getting close enough to make them swing at the balls.
And that pitch is a strike called. He didn't even see the pitch. The batter was looking at the pitcher while the pitch was being thrown. He never even saw the pitch come in, but it was called the strike, and the count is 3-2. Here's a swing, and a bouncing ball hit up the middle and on into center field for a hit. Deakins, as the ball is bobbled in the outfield, heads to third, and the throw comes into second. So, Johnny Estrada will be the batter. Singled and scored, walked and scored, hit a home run out, and bounced into a forced play. And he takes the first pitch for a ball. Next one. Ball inside. Runners at the corners, 2 out. And here's the next pitch. Here's the strike called on the outside corner. The count is 3-2. And there is a base hit into left center field past the glove of Fukuhara. A run will score as Deakins comes in and Rossetti to third base. And that'll bring up Cesar Saenz. Has homered, singled, walked, and hit into a fielder's choice. And the first pitch to him. Swung on and lined to the second baseman on one hop. Thought about going to first base, instead goes to first. The out is made and the put out 4-3. And that is the third out. A run does score. It's 21-15 as we go to the home half of the 5th inning. Sharks huddling up at third base. I believe that they must think, and I'm thinking the same thing, that this could be their final at bat in this game. And likely it would be, because Roderick King says 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So that's the 2-minute warning.
With 2 minutes, yeah, there's no reason to come out. I mean, even if they could make 3 outs, wanted to make 3 outs quickly for some reason of their batting order to get to the top, it's hard to do that in even 2 minutes. So I think this is going to be our last inning. They are going to need 6 runs, I believe, to tie the game. They've already done that in an inning, so lots of possibilities here as we head into the bottom of the 5th.
They did have an 8-run inning in the 3rd and had a promising inning working in the 4th. So the leadoff batter will be Michael Basta, the left fielder, and then we go back to the top of the order. They need 6 to tie, 7 to win. Here's a pop-up in foul territory, and that's strike 2.
And I think this is where you're going to play station to station, or maybe just enough to stay out of the force plays, but not take extra bases until you're closer to that tie.
Grounder to third. For grounder to third. Throw to first in time. 1 out. So Johnny Fukuhara will be the batter. And the first pitch to him, he swings and lines one foul to the left side. And that's strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fuki.
Had somebody come behind the booth hustling on their skateboard.
And the clock, time has expired, and Roderick King says that. And in addition, we will finish the inning. There is 1 out. Jason Newland is in the on-deck circle. Here's the next pitch. And there is a ground ball, again fielded by the third baseman. And the throw to first is wide. Runner is safe.
So what you're hearing there is Fukuhara ran down the line and the ball went past the base, and you can just like in Major League Baseball overrun first base. If you turn and make a move as though you're trying to go to second, you are then fair game to be tagged. Fukuhara really didn't. He ran down that line and he appropriately turned out away from the field to his right to make it clear he was not trying to advance. So that's why even with a tag he was safe.
And that'll bring up Jason Newland. Takes a pitch for a ball. 2-1. And he swings and hits one in the air to left center field. Johnny Estrada over, makes the catch, and that is out number 2. So we are 1 out away from that thing. That thing.
So if the Sharks can score 7, then they win. If they score 6, we have a tie. And if they don't score 6, then we
have that thing. And that first pitch is inside for a ball.
That thing we don't ever say around umpires.
And the next one is a strike called. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the next one, he swings and skies one to deep center field. And that ball is a home run, but it's an out because they'd already hit their 3. Home run, out. I think it's the 4th one we've had today.
I think it was the 4th one we've had today, and that was the 3rd ball out of 4 that Clifford hit over the fence.
San Francisco and Houston gave us a nice game. Houston scored 16 runs in the first inning. San Francisco with a valiant battle, but they come up short in this game. San Francisco is as the home team lose this game. The final score is the Houston Toros 21 and the San Francisco Sharks 15. So that thing that we were avoiding saying is indeed the if game.
So again, in a double elimination tournament, one team will come into the championship game from the winner's bracket having not lost in the tournament. That team was the San Francisco Sharks. The other team comes up having run through the loser's bracket, and so they have a loss, and that team was the Toros. So if the team from the winner's bracket wins, they win. The Toros, coming out of the loser's bracket, have to beat the Sharks twice because you're not out until you lose 2 in a double elimination tournament. And that game, that replay of the championship game, is called the if game. And as we said, there's sort of a joke. Nobody likes to talk about it ahead of time. Umpires hate to hear about it. When you're planning a tournament, the umpires don't like to hear about the possibility of an if game, but here we are.
Now, I'll tell you, when we got our schedule, our broadcast schedule for this tournament, it said on our schedule that if there was an if game, it would be carried here, and that's what we're going to do because there are several people from the Houston area and from the San Francisco area that are rooting for their team. And so we're just making light of the situation. I think that if it weren't so chilly here that maybe it wouldn't be such a bad thing to have the if game, but we do have an if game because Houston, battling through the loser's bracket, pounded out 16 runs in the first inning and then held on to defeat San Francisco 21-15. We're going to take a break for a few minutes and we'll be back.